The Christmas season had just started and everybody were getting ready for the festivities. There were plenty of gatherings to be had around each station. But best of all, they enjoyed getting presents. All of the engines were working busier than usual so that everyone on Sodor received their Christmas presents. However, Rebecca wasn't feeling it. "Why does every Christmas have to be the same?" she moaned. "There's nothing specially new that comes every time of the year. It's always doing the same festive work until Christmas Eve." Henry had heard what she said. "It's because everybody has been waiting about 11 months from between Christmases, so that way they would be able to get into the festive spirit without even forgetting about it." "Thanks, Henry," Rebecca said weakly, "but I'm not into the festive mood as I used to right now." And Rebecca chuffed away. Not only Rebecca wasn't in the festive spirit, Emily wasn't too. "Hurry up," Emily said grumpily to the workers as they were polishing her brass fittings. "I don't want to be late for the Black Rock run." "Hello, Emily." "Hello, Rebecca." "Aren't you in the festive spirit?" Rebecca asked. "Do I look I'm in the festive spirit to you? If you ask me, I received nothing but coal ever since my buffers have been replaced with these ugly silver ones." "Every engine receives coal." "Excuse me?" "What would you like for Christmas?" "That's what I thought," Emily answered. She thought for a few seconds until her mind came to a dead end. "I don't know. I really don't know." Rebecca felt sorry for Emily and wanted to figure out how to get her and herself into the festive spirit. Later, Rebecca visited the docks. She saw colorful containers marking Christmas presents. This made her feel emotional on the inside, but was interrupted by Salty. "Ahoy, Rebecca," he greeted. "Aren't these cargo containers look festive?" "Yes, they do," she responded. "What's in them?" "Presents for the residents of Sodor, of course," Cranky answered. "But not for us," Rebecca mumbled. "Oh, that's because we're heavy-working anthropomorphic machines. We are too big for presents like these. The only presents us trains get are parts that need to be replaced, fixed, spared, or for a special manner." Special manner, Rebecca thought. Then she jumped to a conclusion. "Thank you, Salty." "Rebecca, wait! There's a flatbed of containers needed for Balladrain." "I'll take care of it," she said cheerfully. After getting onto the main line, the weather started to change. It was very hard to see. Then, she spotted a strange figure standing in the snow near the tracks. "Stop, please," told Rebecca to her crew. They applied the brakes and stopped next to the figure. When she stopped, the figure turned out to be none other than Santa Claus! "Ho, ho, ho!" "It's Santa Claus," she says. "What's he doing here?"
"My sleigh came loose from the reindeer, and they've gone back to the North Pole. Now, how can the children be able to get their presents in time for Christmas Day?"
Rebecca decided to help Santa. "We'll deliver your presents for you. I'll deliver them throughout the main line here up to Fickerstown, and then you'll get some assistance towards the way back to the North Pole."
"That's a good idea. I have delivered most of the presents through Sodor's branch lines."
will help you after Rebecca delivers her load to Balladrine. She'll fetch the breakdown crane to rest your sleigh on," her driver improvised. Santa gave his jolly laugh as Rebecca went on her way again. After delivering the load to Balladrine, she collected the breakdown crane to lift Santa's sleigh and put on its flatbed. Santa got inside Rebecca's cab and led the way to deliver the presents. When the last set of presents were delivered, Rebecca went to Santa's last stop, Vickerstown. When her driver telephoned for assistance for Santa to go home, Santa asked,
"What would you like for Christmas?"
Rebecca felt herself rushing through her mind. She remembered about Emily and what Salty said. She whispered it to Santa.
"I see. I'll make sure that you'll be able to get it for Christmas."
"Your journey home is on the way," Rebecca's driver said to Santa. A few minutes later, Harold the helicopter came into view through the clouds. He hovered not too close to the rails, just enough to put down the lines to attach Santa's sleigh. "Greetings, Santa. This evening you'll be taking a trip back to the North Pole, and I see you accomplished your journey of delivering the presents."
"Thank you, Rebecca.
Santa rejoiced.
I'll write a letter to your controller. It'll be here on Christmas."
And Rebecca watched Santa as Harold flew him away back home. On Christmas morning, all the engines at Tidmouth Sheds woke up. They all had their usual special coal they get every Christmas. However, Rebecca received a special present. Her driver opened it, and inside was a letter and a pair of brass buffers for both front and back. All of the engines were jealous of this. Why does she have something special while we just get coal for not being naughty nor nice? It's very nice for Santa to give me a special present, but these buffers aren't really for me. Everyone were dumbfounded. They're for something else. Come on, driver, let's go. She left the sheds, leaving everyone speechless. Rebecca went to Emily's residence at Knapford Sheds. "What do you want?" "Emily, these are for you." Rebecca's driver showed the present. "Are these really for me?" "Yes, I know you were upset at your silver buffers, so I wish Santa for these buffers for you." Why, thank you, Rebecca," Emily hesitated. "This really means a lot to me. I'm glad to have brass buffers again after so long. And could I possibly have your buffers? My old ones are getting worn out." Emily smiled. "You're more than welcome to have them." Shortly later that Christmas Day, Emily was fitted with new buffers, with Rebecca following up after New Year's. Rebecca was more than happy that she and Emily had a Christmas that meant a lot to each other, which made this a December to remember. It was Christmas time on the island of Sodor. Trees were decorated, Colorful lights are lighting up, and presents under the tree. They were getting ready for Christmas, which is the most wonderful time of the year. The engines were celebrating Christmas Eve once the Topham Hatt arrived. I need an engine to take the Christmas pudding and bring it to Knapford Station. Thomas liked being really useful. Oh, please, sir, I can bring the Christmas pudding to Knapford Station. Okay, Thomas, now be careful. The Christmas pudding is very sticky. Thomas arrived at the docks to pick up the Christmas pudding. The Christmas pudding was put on the truck. Aye, Thomas! I think you should be very careful with the Christmas pudding, because this is our last package yet. No worries, Salty. I got this. Don't forget, Thomas. You also have another package if you miss one. But Thomas wasn't listening to Salty. Thomas was thinking about the Christmas pudding and Christmas party. It'll be a nice Christmas for Thomas. The Christmas pudding, the feast, presents, all that makes sense. He also wasn't looking where he was going, because straight ahead, there was a crack in the track. But Thomas didn't see it, nor his driver and fireman. But it was too late. Groaned Thomas. Luckily, nobody was hurt or covered in the Christmas pudding. A few minutes later, Henry brought the breakdown crane. Moments later, Thomas was put up on the breakdown train, and Henry had the truck which the Christmas pudding was on. Oh no, cried Thomas. The Christmas pudding is ruined. Then he had an idea. Hey Henry, can you drop me off at Tim's sheds and deliver the Christmas pudding, please? Henry was happy. You are very welcome, Thomas. I will deliver the Christmas pudding. First, Thomas was dropped off at Tim's sheds, while Henry went to fetch the Christmas pudding. Then Henry collected the last cargo of the Christmas pudding. And Henry delivered the Christmas pudding to Knapford Station. That night, the Topham Hatt meted all the engines at the sheds, and the Topham Hatt was showing the Christmas pudding. The engines were pleased that the Christmas pudding tasted well, and everyone wished that it was a happy and merry Christmas and a new year. The holiday season was coming, and the engines were being prepared for work today, as it had snowed last night. Sir Topham Hatt showed up along with a truck of snowplows. There are a limited quantity of snowplows this year, as other engines had to use them. There was one blue, one red, and one green. Gordon volunteered to have one so he can pull his express train. But the snowplow couldn't fit properly, so he had to stay in the sheds. Toby volunteered because he doesn't need a snowplow due to him having cow catchers and side plates. Thomas, James, and Henry volunteered. Perfect, says the Topham Hatt. You engines will do your work. James will do Gordon's Express, Henry will collect the Flying Kipper, Toby will do Percy's mail and goods train run. Thomas will pull Henrietta, Annie, and Clarabelle to collect passengers as well. Gordon, Percy, and Rebecca stayed at the sheds as the others went to work. Good luck out there! As Thomas went to get his coaches at Farquhar, he saw a Christmas tree decorated with colorful lights and beautiful decorations at the sheds. I bet I would celebrate Christmas here at the sheds with Percy and Toby, Thomas guessed. As Thomas got his passengers, he set off to take them station by station down the Farquhar branch line. When Henry arrived at the docks, they were packed with cargo and wagons. This is the holiday rush hour, Salty said. Some of the ships were delayed due to the severe weather. Henry was buffered up to the flying kipper and went on their way. James was running smoothly with the express to Fakerstown. There were limited delays, but he didn't mind. Toby had the same problem as Henry, but was more complex. The manager stepped outside of the building, just as Toby arrived. The rails are very icy, and there is a blizzard on the way. Do you think you can handle this with that many wagons? Yes, I can, Toby determined. They noticed there was no brake van attached to the train. Then Toby had an idea. Can the conductor ride in the mail car? Toby asked. Your mail car has no brakes. It's not safe to go off without a brake van. My driver has a spare shovel, so if the conductor wants to stop, he can put the shovel on the wheel to slow down. If you're safe enough, that is. The conductor rode in it with a spare shovel for braking. Toby approached Gordon's Hill on the main line. The rails were slippery, making it difficult to climb. As he was halfway up the hill, his wheels started to slip. Toby didn't have sandboxes to make his wheels grip the rails. Then Toby started to decline, slipping down the hill. I'm slipping, Toby wailed. The conductor used the shovel to grab the wheel to brake. But it slowed the train just a little bit. Then Henry was approaching. We're gonna crash! Cried the conductor. Brake as hard as you could. They tried the best they could, but then Henry stopped the train. I've got you, Henry puffed. Having trouble over Gordon's Hill? Henry decided to help Toby up Gordon's Hill and pull the flying kipper at the same time. I've learned this technique before when it helped two diesels. They came across Gordon's Hill again. Henry's wheels slipped, but had his sandboxes to grip the rails. When Toby reached the peak of Gordon's Hill, his wheels gripped the rails again. But when going downhill, the conductor hastily coupled the mail car up to Henry's lamp iron, because his snowplow concealed the coupling, in order to slow the train downhill and through the curve. They made it at last. Toby stopped to deliver half the mail and goods at Croven's gate, while Henry continued to Fakerstown, where he met James. The express was easy as pie, James smiled. Toby finished his journey with bringing the remainders of his goods and mail. Happy holidays! Thomas had stopped at Hackenback, where the bridge was fixed, Elsbridge, and finally at Knapford. Toby, Henry, and James arrived at Knapford, greeting Thomas. How was your journeys? The three explained their journeys to Thomas. When they went to Timoth, the sheds were decorated with Christmas lights. But there was one thing missing: the Christmas tree. "We forgot to get the Christmas tree," gloomed Percy. Then Thomas had an idea. "There's a Christmas tree at Farquhar Sheds. Maybe I can bring it here." "If you ask," Henry sneered. Thomas went on one more journey to get the Christmas tree. He asked, and they had a spare tree for them to use. Thomas went back to Timoth Sheds. The engines were singing Christmas carols and songs. "Happy holidays, Thomas," the engines cheered. Thomas has never felt so happy around the holiday season. With the holiday season coming just around the corner, Percy was getting more and more excited. "Cool your boiler, Percy," Toby would say. "We're all getting excited about the holidays too." "I'm mostly looking forward to seeing the carolers perform singing traditional carols," Percy beamed. "It's what makes me cheerful." Sir Topham Hatt walked towards the sheds with bad news. "Due to bad weather," he started, "we would have to cancel the carol performance." Percy was flabbergasted. "Why for? Is there a blizzard?" "It is too warm to snow, so it would rain instead." Percy was heartbroken. Having no carolers meant that his holiday spirits were down. This was Percy's most important staple of the holiday. "Look on the bright side," Davy comforted. "There's Christmas trees, decorations, and presents too." Unfortunately, this made Percy feel worse. He was so heartbroken, tears lashed down his face and couldn't speak well. "I tried to help." "Percy's best part of his holidays are carols," Toby answered. He was looking forward to it. After a few minutes of wordless sobbing, Nia had an idea. "Please, sir," Nia asked, "could I find a way to help Percy out? Without the carolers, Percy would be depressed during the holidays this year." "You can try," answered Sir Topham Hatt. "I won't guarantee that it'll work. However, I'll leave it up to you." And he walked towards his car, then drove away. Do you think your idea would work?" Percy asked in a weak manner. "I'll see what I'll do," Nia responded. Her driver started her fire and opened the regulator. Nia chucked away to find out how to cheer up Percy. "So, what's your plan?" her driver asked. "If Percy can't see the carolers perform, then we'll bring the carolers to them," she replied. "In other words, we need to find a freight car in order to transport them in, without getting wet." First, Nia stopped by the big station's shed. She spied Anthony. "Excuse me," Nia asked. "Could I borrow you for a special job?" "Like what? Movies? Flight shows?" "None of that. I need you to transport carolers to Farquhar. It's very special to a friend of mine." "Sorry," Anthony answered. "I could only carry film equipment and supervisors. Besides, I'm getting tired of hearing them perform the same songs every holiday time." This didn't work for Nia. However, she didn't give up. She asked Thomas for his coaches, but Thomas had important work with him. Next, she tried the quarry near Harwick. She saw some China clay trucks, but they weren't suitable for the task. Nia looked around. Nothing caught her eye. After an hour of looking, she was ready to give up. "Hey, Nia!" "Who was that?" "Are you looking for something to transport some people?" Nia hesitated for a moment. "Yes, I am." "You can take it on me." The voice came from a troublesome truck. You're just a troublesome truck, Nia stared at it. I'd like to become useful one day, and I think my chance has come. A troublesome truck being useful and not troublesome for a change? Nia wondered. That's so unusual that... You see that old roof over here? I'd like to use that. That's perfect, Nia cheered. You've probably read my idea. And Nia told the idea with the truck. Well, what are you waiting for? Take me and the roof to the works at once. As Nia took the truck to the works, workers began to modify the truck. When it was ready, Nia fetched the carolers and traveled down to Farquhar. Percy was still feeling devastated. By the time Nia arrived, his mood had changed. There, to his surprise, was carols on wheels. Happy holidays, Percy! Nia cheered as he listened to a carol. Nia! This is perfect! Percy beamed. It's probably my best Christmas gift ever! Well, thank you, Percy. Well, you don't need to just thank me. You can thank a former troublesome truck for the idea, too, Carols on Wheels replied. So Tom had also arrived to hear what was singing. After finding out, he gave Nia a hearty, "Well done for your resourceability." Percy whistled with glee as he, Nia, and the rest of the crew stayed to see and hear the carolers perform out in the open rain.
Snowflakes falling all around me, joy in every flake. Holiday lights, they shimmer bright in the dusk of winter's wake. I hear the bells jingling, filling up the night. Rebecca's ready for a Christmas filled with delight. Beep, beep down the track, we're off to see the cheer, with gifts and treats and laughter for this merry time of year. There's magic on the railway as far as you can see. Rebecca's got a load of glee for friends and family. On this Christmas ride with Rebecca by your side, joy and cheer spread far